Marvel and Magic the Gathering Secret Lair drop is coming on November 4th. Could this set change the game? And most importantly, is it worth it? Stick around and find out. Here's what we know about the drop so far. Each of the 5 drops is supported by a unique legendary from the Marvel universe and 4 reprints from Magic's existing card pool, all featuring Marvel art. This is just the beginning of the Marvel and Magic crossover. We'll touch on what else might be coming a little later. First, let's look at the top 3 reprints according to EDH Rec that you can grab from the Secret Lair drop. These cards bring great value and playability. First up, an honourable mention though. Sol Ring, the biggest commander staple out there, is reimagined as Iron Man's Arc Reactor. This is so fitting, it's brilliant, but I feel like the arcane signet you get for spending over $199 being Stark Tower or the Avengers Tower is a bit of a miss. This could easily have been Command Tower. Now, onto the top 3 reprints. In third place is Storm's Will, aka Jeska's Will. This is an extremely powerful red card showing up in 17% of eligible decks. In second place is Rhythm of the Wild, a must include for every Gruul Creatures Matters deck, showing up in 23% of eligible decks. And in first place, we have Heroic Intervention, one of the best green protection spells out there, showing up in almost 30% of eligible decks. But what about you? What's your favourite reprint from the drop? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's look at the Marvel Legendary cards from each drop. These cards are unique, not just reskins of existing cards, so it's hard to predict how popular or valuable they will be. First up, we have Black Panther Wakandan King. A 2-mana 2/2 with First Strike. He lets you pump up your lands with +1/+1 counters whenever you cast a creature, and then you can shift those counters onto another creature, gain that much life, and draw a card. This seems like a solid pump-style commander with a cheap cost that you can get into action early. Next, we've got Captain America First Avenger, a 3-mana 4/4 with an extremely fun ability. He can throw equipment at up to 3 targets and then reattach it to himself for free at the start of combat. Imagine casting a Colossus Hammer for just 1 mana in your main phase, then attaching it for free during combat, making Cap a 14/14 with First Strike, all for a total of 4 mana. You could do this as early as turn 3. Then, there's Iron Man Titan of Innovation, a 5/5 mana 4/4 with flying and haste. He generates a treasure token whenever he attacks, and you can sacrifice an artifact to search your library for another with mana value equal to the sacrificed artifact +1. This lets you build up to massive artifacts every turn and potentially flood the board. Storm Force of Nature is next. She's a 4-mana 3/4 with flying and vigilance, and she gives Storm to the next instant or sorcery spell you cast whenever she deals combat damage to a player. Picture this: cast a few low-cost spells in your main phase, go to combat, then finish your opponent off with a lightning bolt 5 times. That can be crazy. And lastly, we have Wolverine, best there is. A 3-mana 2/2 that has a static ability to double all damage he would deal, plus you can regenerate Wolverine for 1 and a green, and he gets a +1/+1 counter whenever he deals combat damage to a creature. Wolverine can get out of hand fast and helps mitigate command attacks. Could these legendary creatures change the commander meta? Do you think any of them are CDH viable? Let's talk about that. Now, here's the big question. Is this drop designed for players or collectors, or both? Personally, I think it's a mix of both, and here's why. We've got Ice Storm getting its first reprinting since Unlimited. It's currently a $55 card. Pair that with Jeska's Will in the same Secret Lair, and you've got insane value. And all of the other Secret Lair drops feature cards that hold their own in both price and playability. If you can, I definitely recommend picking these up. Whether you plan to play them or keep them, it doesn't matter, as these drops are valuable to both collectors and players. Now, the community is a little split on this crossover. Is this the best thing for Magic, or will it dilute the game's identity? Personally, I see this as a game that's meant to be played. This crossover could entice many Marvel fans who aren't currently aware of Magic, or haven't gotten into the game. And for the player base, this could be awesome. But it does go deeper than that. There's a Spider-Man and Magic drop coming soon. This turns into a full set cycle with decks, boosters and more. It could be bigger than we think. What are your thoughts? Let me know below. So, what's my take? I'm definitely going to pick up these Secret Lairs if I can. They are still limited run, and they may well be the fastest sellout in Secret Lair drop history. I just hope Wizards of the Coast have printed enough this time round. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think it will sell out instantly, or do you think they've actually made enough this time? Now it's your turn. Let me know down below whether you're excited or not excited for the Secret Lair drop, and if you're picking any of the cards up. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you liked my content, subscribe, because next Thursday I've got some information about what I'm going to be doing with Foundation.